Jeep Gladiator, 6 reasons why you should not buy one. You want to buy a Jeep Gladiator? There's another side to the story that you might want to hear before you decide. The Gladiator has some problems like a high price, less than ideal features, and a lack of dependability. Want to know why this tough truck might not be the best choice for everyone? Stay with us as we talk about the 6 main reasons the Jeep Gladiator might not live up to your hopes. Could this be the truck you should stay away from? Without a doubt, the Jeep Gladiator is one of the most interesting cars on the market right now. It is a mix of the classic Jeep Wrangler and a midsize pickup. It can go off-road, looks tough, and has the flexibility of a truck bed. But the Gladiator isn't for everyone, even though it looks good and has the famous Jeep logo on it. There are actually a number of reasons you might not want to buy one. We're going to talk about 6 main reasons why the Jeep Gladiator might not be the best car for you. 1. Expensive for what you get. One big problem with the Jeep Gladiator is that it costs a lot, especially when you compare it to other medium trucks. Jeep is known for being tough and good at going off-road, but the Gladiator starts at about $38,000. If you add extras like the Rubicon or Mogave packages to higher trims, the price can easily go over $60,000. When you pay this much, you're getting close to full-size trucks like the Ford F-150 or Chevy Silverado, which have more power, can pull more, and can carry more. Other mid-sized trucks like the Chevrolet Colorado and Toyota Tacoma have a lot of the same features, but cost a lot less. Many buyers think they're paying too much for the Jeep name and the fact that it can go off-road even if they don't go off-road very often. If you're watching your price, the Gladiator might not be the best choice. Many people say that you can get a better deal on a medium truck somewhere else, even though it has its own charm. 2. Poor gas mileage. The Jeep Gladiator's tough look and ability to go off-road come at the cost of using more gas. Both the Jeep Wrangler and the Gladiator can have a 3.6 liters Pentastar V6 or a 3.0 liters EcoDiesel V6 engine. However, the Gladiator doesn't get great gas mileage. The 3.6 liters V6 engine runs on gas and gets 17 mpg in the city and 22 mpg on the highway according to the EPA. The EcoDiesel does a little better, getting about 22 mpg in the city and 28 mpg on the highway. While these numbers aren't terrible, they're not nearly as good as those of rivals like the Ford Ranger and Chevrolet Colorado. These cars get better gas mileage and are cheaper to drive every day. If you want to use the Gladiator to get to work every day or for long road trips, having to stop at gas stations a lot could quickly become a problem. Off-roading in the Gladiator is amazing, but if you spend most of your time on paved roads, the high price might not be worth it. 3. Unrefined experience driving on the road. On off-road terrain, the Jeep Gladiator really shines, but on regular roads, it falls short. That said, its solid axle suspension is great for rough terrain, but it makes the ride rough and uncomfortable on roads and city streets. The long chassis and body-on-frame design of the Gladiator can make it feel stiff and hard to control on normal roads. People often say that the steering is loose and needs to be fixed all the time. Also, driving one can feel awkward compared to driving a more polished mid-size truck. Many other cars in the same class, like the Honda Ridgeline or Ford Ranger, are easier to drive and more comfortable, with better handling and a ride more like a car. However, if you mostly use the Gladiator for work or family trips, you might not like how it drives. 4. Limited capacity for payload and towing. One of the main reasons people buy trucks is that they are useful. They can tow and haul big things. Although the Jeep Gladiator can tow and carry a fair amount of weight for a medium truck, it is not as good as some of its rivals. When fully equipped, the Gladiator can pull up to 7,650 pounds, but this is only possible with the right trim and setup. Most Gladiator models can't pull nearly as much, especially when off-road focused packages like the Rubicon or Mogave are picked. The volume is also limited with a top weight of 1,700 pounds. These numbers are good for a medium truck, but they're not great. If towing and hauling are important to you when buying a truck, you might find better choices in the midsize or even full-size truck categories. Other trucks like the Ford Ranger, Chevrolet Colorado, and Toyota Tacoma can tow as much or more than the Gladiator, but they don't cost as much. 5. Reliability that is questionable and high maintenance costs. Jeep has been praised for a long time for its off-road abilities, but the brand has a sketchy past when it comes to dependability. Because the Gladiator and the Wrangler share a lot of DNA, they both have some of the same dependability issues. According to Consumer Reports and other sources, the Jeep name isn't very reliable, especially when it comes to long-term durability. People have said that the Wrangler has problems like electrical issues, transmission breakdowns, and poor build quality. Some of these problems may also happen with the Gladiator. Taking care of a Jeep can also cost more than usual, especially when fixes are needed after a lot of off-road use. A lot of Jeeps like the Gladiator need special parts and services that can make the total cost of ownership higher. It can cost more to do even basic upkeep on these cars, like changing the oil and rotating the tires. There are other cars that might be better for you if you want a reliable one that doesn't cost much to maintain. There are other medium trucks like the Toyota Tacoma and Honda Ridgeline that are better known for being reliable. 6. Less space for the bed and less useful features. There are some good things about the Gladiator's truck bed, but there are also some bad things about it. The bed is only 5 feet long, which is shorter than the beds of many other medium trucks and even some full-size trucks. It can still be used to move things, but there isn't a lot of room, especially for people who need to move bigger loads or longer equipment. Also, the Gladiator's open truck bed leaves your goods open to the weather unless you buy an aftermarket tonneau cover or other add-ons. This makes it less useful to use the Gladiator for everyday work tasks or to carry things in bad weather. The Gladiator doesn't seem as useful as some other medium trucks like the Honda Ridgeline, which has a more flexible and roomy bed with storage under the bed. The Ridgeline has a body that feels more like a car, more storage space, and unique features like an in-bed trunk and a dual-action tailgate. If you're buying a truck for its usefulness, you might not like how the Gladiator's bedroom and cargo management options aren't as good as those of other trucks. Without a doubt, the Jeep Gladiator is a beautiful car that can go off-road. This truck is great for people who like to go on adventures, live the Jeep lifestyle, and sometimes go off-roading. There are, however, some problems with the Gladiator that might make it a less than ideal choice for most buyers. Because it's expensive, gets bad gas mileage, isn't very good on the road, and isn't very useful, it's hard to recommend to people who want to use their car for daily commuting or work-related chores. People who want long-term dependability may also be put off by the product's iffy dependability and high maintenance costs. People like the Gladiator, and it does some things really well, but there are many reasons you might want to think twice before buying one. You might get more for your money with a Toyota Tacoma, Ford Ranger, or Honda Ridgeline if you're mostly looking for a reliable, cheap, and useful mid-size truck. In the end, the Jeep Gladiator is a niche car that only a certain type of user will be interested in. It might be the right truck for you if you love off-roading, Jeeps, and the tough image they give off. But you might want to look at other choices if you want a well-rounded car that handles well on highways and city streets, is a better value, and is easier to keep up. If you want more insights and honest reviews about the latest vehicles, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Stay tuned for all the latest updates and in-depth analyses to help you make the best car choices.